I'm glad we talked about that because heritage hip hop was not made to just highlight beats and rhymes. I want to talk about the strength of our women because I think our women's strength has been turned into a weakness. I'm gonna tell you why. Stephanie Mills said they want our style, but they don't want us to do it. They want white women to sing like black girls, but don't want the black girl on stage. So the weakness is, yeah, you can't do that, but I'm gonna do what you do and get your shine. And I think that's wrong. For men, as we said earlier, especially men of color, when it comes to mainstream media, we're taking out of the media because the man is not the man anymore. He's a character, which means he's not realistic. And in today's society, I think it's very important for us to keep building our strengths so that they know they're full of shit, and we can identify that our strengths are their weaknesses, and that's why they're trying to take them. In today's society, we have Farrakhan now, who's been taken off of the media, and his sin is being truthful and having love for people. Dr. Sebi was killed. There's doctors, there's a woman doctor, I don't remember her name, but she came out and talked about the vitamin D deficiency and how foods and things are destroying our bodies. And they ended up found her in a river face down. The things that you do and show are impactful because you're the inspiration of people who are going to come up under you and say something about you that made them strong. Who inspired you first? And what did you take from them into yourself?
Who inspired me? My mom.
Okay.
I don't, it's not too many people as far as celebrities that I look into or would say inspired me because I don't know how they really live. I don't know if it's just media today, everything is so fake. You don't know what's real. So my inspiration was always my mother. My mother is a very strong individual, and I've always had my dad in my life, don't think that. My parents are still married to this day. But my mom inspired me to be able to do anything I want. She always told me, I don't care what it is in life. Don't let nobody tell you you can't.
Okay.
And me, both of my parents. They instilled everything in me that I needed, and they made sure they nourished me to whatever it is that I wanted to do. They encouraged me, and they was always there.
And what you're talking about is community. And the aspect of community, especially in the game that you're in, is very small. And it's so competitive that people will block each other's blessings and then destroy the bonds that we have as people. As we said with Hollywood, again with the web series, Hollywood is so small, but the web series allows you to be bigger and tell your story. If you were in your own web series, what story would you want to tell?
My own.
Okay. I don't know what else to say from that. That's his own answer. You want to tell your own story. So you're going to do a biographic, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So, before you answer, I want to ask you something. Are you in industry?
Am I in industry?
Yes.
No.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
We're going to build you up today. You're already strong. I can't do much. We're going to build you up today. Yes, you are industry because you have a story to tell and you have a talent. So that biographic can be a book, can be a play, can be a movie, it can be a speech. You can do a TED Talk. The last part of the interview was about the strength of the woman and those seeds that you plant. I asked you that because the power that you possess is in your life experience and in your story, your tongue. So by having someone tell your own story, or you telling your own story, means that you control the narrative. Why is it important for you to be able to take control of your voice and tell your own story rather than somebody telling the story for you?
Because they wouldn't be able to tell it like me. I don't, even if I wanted to tell my story and turn it into something, I think I would have to play my own character to get the real deal. I don't think, as far as the, that's why it's called acting, but I still don't think you would get the true emotions and the realness of it if it's not coming from that person. No, go ahead.
How about yourself?
It'll be an autobiography of myself. And the reason why, like she said, no one will capture your feelings the way you, and all you're doing is bringing it to the cameras. So.
Okay. Cause see, we had a landmark movie come out last year. Black Panther came out.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the movie, someone did a live stream. And a young man said, "This is what y'all feel like? Is this what you really want? When y'all see Batman, this how y'all white boys feel? Y'all feel empowered? I see Black Panther, I'm the motherfucking Black Panther." He was going off. Mm-hmm. He's like, "I'm empowered. I can be great. I can do this. I can be that." And on our platform, we actually interview people who make comic books. And they said it's important for us to tell our own stories because people don't know who the hell we are. Mm-hmm. They think we're just there to entertain when we really feel pain. We really feel love. We really feel joy. We really go through adversity and people think it's some bullshit that we do and then we're just complaining. Web series gets to tell a story that Hollywood won't tell. What truths would you like to see come from the web series genre that you can use to either show somebody or to highlight something that you think needs to be talked about?
It's a lot in the web series. The little girl being kidnapped, that's happening today. Like, a lot of that is going on, which it bothers the hell out of me when I'm driving to work or, anywhere, store, anywhere, and I see a child walking to school by themselves. And it could be a little girl, a little boy, but they're not of age. What happened to the
community?
Yes, keeping I was always raised on, what is it? It takes a village. Okay. I lived in a building, and every parent on any floor, they seen us outside that building. Your mother know where you are? No, you're my fifth mother. That is none of that no more. It's really none of that no more. So it's a lot in the web series that shines a little light on a few things that's going on now.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely going to be bringing up a lot of everyday normal activities that's going on that people don't want to talk about. We're trying to incorporate that into Loyalty and Betrayal.
I hope so, because that will make y'all web series go far beyond some of the others. Because a lot of the web series I see, and my partner tell you, I watch a lot. I watch web series. Everything's about drugs and people getting killed. Drugs and people getting killed.
Yeah.
I seen one web series that dealt with a young lady who had to deal with the loss of her father being molested and her mother choosing the molester over her. That story is deep. I saw that. You know the one?
No, okay.
I seen that story. And I was like,
gotta be
whoa.
like.
And when you do studies in American society, it says 8 out of 10 women have been molested. And these are stories that we don't tell. And I think, going back to the age of the woman and hearing the stories that women tell, I think that's something that should be highlighted. Because now we get to expose the truth for what it is. And as a young man, there's men who are touched inappropriately. There's people who hear about racism but don't see the effects of racism. They just hear the story. And you don't get to live it in the honesty of it. And right now, one of the hottest topics in the world today is mental health. And we don't really talk about how mental health not only is treated or non-treated, we don't see the effects of the people who deal with the person with the mental health issue. You know what I'm saying? So those stories are something that can and need to be told. What do you think?
I totally agree.
So what's the benefit of those stories in your opinion? Besides, I don't want to talk too much. I want to know what you think.
What's the benefits of the stories in the web series?
Being told. Just them stories being told, period. How's that going to make the world better? Those stories being told.
Because there's other people that's going through the same thing that don't have that voice. when you reach a certain level and you can voice on it and the world can hear you, voice on it. I've been through so much that I would just talk on, abuse. My daughter, I had my daughter when I was 4 months pregnant. For her, she had to stay at the hospital for 8 months. It's a lot that another person that probably has a premature child, they don't have that voice. It's not something that's spoken. When I tell people I was 17 and a half weeks pregnant when I had my daughter, they're like, what? And she's alive? And she's a 5-year-old. She runs around like a 5-year-old. Very smart. She just graduated kindergarten, on her way to first grade. She has, a little bit of issues, but again, if I was to make it to where the world can hear me about that, I would. I would speak on it because I want to be that voice. So it's like I said, it's a few different things in this web series that we touch on that's pretty, we're pretty much the voice of it.
It brings awareness. We aware of it, but a lot of us just push it to the back. So it'll bring more awareness, open more minds, and people will start to think a little more ahead of, okay, well, we know this is happening, but let's really look into it.
I'm a preschool teacher. So cognitive development is something I harp on a lot. Because a lot of people think when children are in school, ABCs, counting, shapes, that's it. Especially with the inner city. Because they believe we're dumb. I went to college for this dumbass profession, but I love it though. And it says that, you understand what I'm saying? In my history, my society and the family book, it says that in the inner city, people don't learn like people in suburban America. So the teacher has to learn Ebonics because mentally, people of color are not on a 5-year-old level until they're 18. That's written in a book. Okay. Today, this year, as of this time, I'm reading Positive Behavior Discipline Model, which says that as a man, I'm already behind the 8 ball because I'm in a female-dominated field, preschool. It says that if I am interpreted as being harsh, not if I'm talking harsh, but if I'm speaking harsh, if I'm interpreted as being harsh to a child in tone, I can be fired on the spot. But young men and young women, young men and young women respond to different tones. So with a young girl, you say, sit down, don't do that, and they'll sit down. With a young man, sometimes you're like, shit, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll sit down. And if I said that, it could be like, oh, you're talking harshly, you're not meant for this job. Get out. And they're telling us we cannot raise our children and teach them the truth. Truth is the most important lesson that can be portrayed on film, on camera, in a book, and in a story. The truth of the matter of life is we go through so much, and how we persevere defines our character. And the character is what you play. So what is the truth, to end this part off, that you want everybody to know of you, your character, or the story that you want told?
I would say that my truth, for people to see me as a good actor, as someone who nailed their part, and someone that they could be like, I can, relate. And as far as that, and
it's kind of hard for me to answer that question because the part that we play, I don't play in real life. Like that's not my profession. So it was, like I said, it was kind of hard stepping into that because I'm like, oh man, I know I could be hood, I could, be the ghetto girl or whatever, but to play a cop is a little different.
So you don't think there's hood cops? Ghetto girl cops?
Absolutely, but
I know a couple.
but see, I'm not.
Shout out to Fatima, by the way.
I'm not playing like a hood. Yeah, we dealing with the hood. You know what I mean? So to a certain extent, you have to. But we're when we get together on there, we're so on a professional level that it's just like hood and me and be like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? We gotta be professional. You know, like the first episode that we actually played in the movie theater, and it showed the part where we were in the pizzeria having this discussion, and that's my best friend that we're trying. You know what I'm saying? That we're now going after. So I have to jump into the, oh no, and y'all looking at me. I gotta be the one, cause that's my best friend. You know, so at the end of the day, we still didn't lose the professionalism, but I had to really jump into that character of, and how I do that is I really put myself in that position. Okay, you gotta play the cop. So right now you're the cop. You are the cop.
I asked you about that. How do you turn it on and turn it off like that?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I just go. I don't know. I just go. It's not hard to do, but it's hard when you're in that character because you want it to be right. You don't want it to look fake. You don't want it to look. That's why I'm glad that there's no we're not script. We're not reading the script, because when you're reading a script and they're telling you how to be, you gotta roll your eyes at this point. You gotta fake cry. You can't tell me to do that. I gotta jump into that. Like, I have to jump into that. It's not saying that I couldn't read off a script and play that character. It's just that it's easier using yourself, you know, at that time. So, like I said, to jump into that position of being a cop was like, all right, I gotta be the cop. I had to turn it off when I got in the car, you know what I mean? But I gotta be a cop. I gotta sit right here and be professional and be the cop. When you look back at it and you're looking at it, you're like, I don't look like no cop. That part ain't looking like, let's do it over. You really, 100, I say all of us give 100%. All of us give 110.
Okay.